And Richard says he's done trade work on Facebook as well. His newest cover for What Happened to Me, he designed on Canva.com himself, and he loves it. And I saw it. It was really, I love the cover on that. And I would not imagine that's Canva. So fantastic job with that. With Yes, a stock image. It's what he has to spend nothing, but he was able to create something that is compelling at first sight. And I just want to say, converting that from first to third is not easy on the fly.
Yeah, you got to, you got to, ultimately, you have affordability, design. In photography, it's a triangle. Yeah. You can have quality and fast. You can have quality and cheap, but you cannot have cheap, quality, fast.
No,
yeah,
you can't.
yeah.
And it's the same idea. You have your concept, you have your design, you have your fee. I would love to have the budget I had when I first started out before I made so many horrible decisions. And I would be able to hire some of the more in-demand artists, but I can't. But one thing,
I cry for you every night. I'm sorry. I really, really wish that we could go back in time. I hear about the trials you had with bad marketing, and it just, like, really, I am so sorry.
I learned from it. I'm better for it.
Yeah.
I'm also poorer for it. But it's. I wish I'd have met you 4 years ago, because I would have been more successful in my endeavors. And there are days when I wonder what's you know, when is this going to end? You know, if I get a bad tax return, or if my book doesn't you know, earn enough, you know. And I keep going, and it makes me sad. But what it's allowed me to do is forced me to be more creative in what I do. So for one, I'm always Bob Drifter was done by my best friend in junior high.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so when I knew I was getting published, I knew he was doing the cover. So that was never an issue for me, and that was very affordable for me.
Yeah.
With Cott, I had to really scout and look for people. So I had to find talented artists who were not well known, that were just looking for the same shot I'm looking for. And what I've grown an affinity for is now I'm looking for the underdogs. I'm looking for people who want a shot. I want to pay them what I can afford, so that we both have that same opportunity. Because, you know, again, it comes from my teamwork atmosphere. You're talented, but no one's giving you a shot to design a cover. I want a good cover, but I can't afford some of the people that I'm looking at right now.
And I think that's the kind of clientele that you're going to find on Fiverr and Freelancer is, and I know DeviantArt's been mentioned a few times. One moment, there you go. This is Richard's book. This is what he did with Canva, which again, just, I would never have thought that this was a original work from Canva.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have either.
And this is memoir, just so you know. This is the genre memoir.
This looks like something you do in Photoshop.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Like, I remember when I was loading, this is one of the books I uploaded today, and it stopped me. I went back and I looked it up, because it was striking. Yeah, absolutely.
How do I get back to that?
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to get back to the video. So
you're going to have to, let me see if I can do it on my end. Yeah,
there we
go.
Oh, I got to stop share. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate that, yeah, I did that on Canva in literally probably about 7 minutes. It was a quick drag and drop. I got the photo from Dreams Time, which I have a paid membership there that I use for my online website. It's my online radio station. I have an account there for that, so that I can get free images not necessarily free, because I pay $30 a month, specifically so I have images to do decals or logos for the online radio station and stuff. So I was looking for a depressed image, and that's one of the ones that I had found. I dragged it and dropped it into a template that they had already made. And I changed the font color from it was like a sunburst orange color to the bluish teal.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I left it the way it was. And when it came out, it was all done, and it let me save it. It gave me the option to save as GIF, PNG, and JPEG.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was also able to get another format, which I've never heard of before. It was like ENF or something. Something that if I have to send it to...
EPS.
Yes.
EPS.
If I have to send it to a...
PostScript.
Yes, which is, I guess, Photoshop file.
Actually, it's Adobe Illustrator. It's what it is it's I don't understand it completely, but it's a vectorless graphic, so you can actually have like a 100 by 100 image one time and have a full poster size the next time from the same image. It doesn't rely on DPI or anything like that. It actually does something weird that I don't understand.
They had told me to download it for that in case I decided to send the book to print. However, the book is only, I think, 5,700 words because it's a very small ebook. So I said, well, I don't really need that. So I didn't download it. I just downloaded the PNG and the JPEG file that I needed for Amazon. But yeah, I mean, literally, I was very surprised with being at 100% free and being able to do what I was able to do with just one picture. I was very shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Canva, I live off of Canva, and I don't have the patience for it. And I do not have a love of drawing and artwork. And when I think about it, I can make a mean stick figure. When I really apply myself. So, and it was funny when I first started up my website, one of the things that I really pushed hard was getting fan art, just because I don't know why. And I threatened my readers that if they didn't start submitting me fan art, I was going to produce my own. And I did. And it was funny. I got fan art as a result. But it was bad. Like, my drawings are bad. So, and I just don't have the discipline. I just don't care. So when I sit down and play with Canva, I'm just like, all right, let's get this job done. It's going to be dirty. It's going to just be out there. And I've gotten very proficient at one step above mediocre done. So the fonts are nice. That's what I've got. For Weech's sake, I've got the
You guys are gonna laugh. You guys want to laugh?
Sure.
Yeah, but okay. I'm gonna share my screen. Hang on one second. There we go. Let me get the chat window out of the way and screen share. Okay. The one on the left, this one right here, was my attempt after 10 years. Okay. Hand-drawn, everything else. The one on the right is the current book. It's 5 separate pieces of clip art done by somebody in 48 hours based on a simple description by me and a couple of samples. You talk about trying to do too much. I did. And I am very proud. I am very proud of the one on the right, the one that's on the, because it captures the power of the book. The one on the left was me trying to do fan art. Talk about fan art.
You could post it on your site for fan art.
Yeah. I mean, I was proud of it because I got the horse right, but the people kept reminding me of Captain Kirk.
Paint them in red shirts.
I couldn't. That's not the uniform color, but I really like the one on the left. I'm looking backwards. This one is mine. This one is the professionally done one. And I would go back to that artist anytime because she really captured what I wanted. I wanted a young guy on one side, an older guy on the same side, both of them being twins, and the lady in the middle, you know. And that's what I was trying to do here, but it didn't quite work out. So, yeah. that goes along with the ideas that you're a writer, be a writer first. Let the specialists
Yeah.
do their specialist jobs. I'm just lucky that I can do websites, because if I couldn't do websites, I wouldn't have any publicity right now.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So I am partial to artistic renderings of scenes. That's my cup of tea. That's what I normally look for. Do you guys have preferences in covers?
I like, and I'm going to talk fantasy for a second because that's what I love. Actually, no, this is true for my urban fantasy, paranormal, everything that I read. I like to see the character brooding with, if there's magic or element or a weapon. Yeah, that's it. Their weapon of choice in hand, in use, or just got done. Literally, that's my zombies pose with her blade there. And one of my favorite, the other thing that I really wanted was there to be Colin just finished wielding fire in the picture. And the one behind us, what I really wanted added to that never made it in was I wanted the sword to be just used, and I wanted her to be holding one of her fireballs. Like she had just blasted somebody away, maybe blood dripping on the sword. So for me, it's not in action. It's the action's over. They may have taken a moment, and the paparazzi nearby said, "Hey, over here." And they looked and they got that shot.
One of my photography mentors, I'm sorry, one of my photography mentors was like, so they were talking and they were like, "Hey, so when you're in the pit where all the photographers are," he goes, how do you always get that look? And he goes, "Oh, it's easy. I just shout, 'Hey, cue!' and then I take the picture."
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm like, I bet that would work, because you always get that same look, like,
what? It's really great.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love every one of my covers, no matter what genre. I don't like the ones where in the middle, and this one, The Deeds of Paxenarian, I hate the cover. And it's her on a horse fighting a do you have it there?
No, I don't have that one.
Okay. I hate the cover. It's terrible. It's her on a horse in full armor, poking her sword at mid-battle at the wolf at her horse's legs. And I hate it, because I'm looking at it going, it bothers me. And I think that's it. One of the things, I think this is it right here. When you are in combat or you are in ballet, there are certain positions, Kung Fu's the same way. You expect to see a certain body position. And if you've done any kind of study in that field, you can recognize bad posture a mile away. And when you have an artist who goes in and paints this war scene, 99% of the time, the artist has never picked up a sword in their life. That artist is literally an artist, and they don't know the first things about painting the right body position, the right martial arts position, the right sword weapon. There is nothing I hate more than seeing somebody drawn to hold a sword and they're just not doing it right. Or they're holding a martial arts stance or a ballet pose and it's just butchered. And I'm like, what are you doing? That is so not how it's done. And every professional can look at that and go, that's crap. So I don't like seeing the in-action scenes in that moment, which is why that the photographers, hey, right after they're done fighting, like they sear the ogre, they hear, hey, they pull their blade away, they look over like, what? And then you get the shot. That's the shot I love in every one of my book covers.
Yeah, I'm just looking through my collection.
Yeah, let's see what you've got. Jim Butcher?
I'm a huge fan of Butcher's covers.
Mm-hmm.
This has become the standard for urban fantasy covers. You got the main character with a brooding pose, holding his weapon of choice, and there's usually some sort of glowing element or mystical background.
Now I gotta say it. That is not how you hold a gun. That is never how you would hold a gun.
Oh yeah, because his finger's on the trigger. That would drive me nuts.
You don't do that. He's holding it like it's a pistol. It's just driving me crazy. I'm like, I am a mean shot. And that is not how you hold a gun. My grandfather owned a gun shop. So, and it was customary. It sounds like such an American right now. We had gun training. We were taught how to shoot at a very early age. We were taught respect. We were taught gun weapons. Like, there is a respect. You do not play with them. That is not how you hold a weapon. And that's yeah.
There is a bias of knowledge that's created. I also know that's never how you would hold a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I can't watch war movies. Like no one who knows me will sit through a movie with me. But in addition to that, they won't even approach the idea of, oh, so we're going to this war movie, because I'm like, that's not how they do that. They would all die if they entered a room that way. That would.
Okay, I can so get into a tangent because I'm dying to talk to you about war movies. Have you ever seen any war movie where they did it right?
What was the name of it?
Fury.
The unit.
Ryan?
The unit that I was with, Combat Camera, they did a movie. It was all real sailors doing real tactics. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, those are actual tactics. That's how you would clear a room. That's how you would communicate. But that's because those were SEALs. Those were trained sailors doing sailor things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember too many movies where there's a degree of accuracy, and it's all on the less accurate side of it. I mind less the tactics because I don't necessarily want to like teach other people how to do this stuff. But what really frustrates me more is like people saluting indoors. It just infuriates me. It's like you would never do that, or the way people talk to one another because they go off what they think people do, and it just comes off as false. Right. But there are certain things that they do with tactics that when I watch it, I go, yeah, that'd be an amazing way to kill the entire unit. That's exactly how you should do that. But I have a bigger issue with like, no, they make for compelling stories, but like half of the great movies, like if you were to name the top 3 Navy movies, I'd be like, all of those are actually great instructions in how to go to mast. That would be like, if you want to get in trouble, do what that guy did in that movie. But you want to tell a compelling story, so you need to do things that you wouldn't actually get away with doing in the Navy or in the military, but they make for a good story. They make for compelling narrative.
Yeah.
And so you gotta kind of let that go. Next one I want to do, Michael Whalen. He's the best in the business. This is Words of Radiance.
Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful. Love Brandon Sanderson's cover. Love his stuff.
Have you seen what is it? Oathbringer?
Oathbringer. I have not. See, I want to grab my books right now.
And then
King, I can't remember the name of it. The King something.
The Way of Kings.
The Way of Kings.
You want me to bring that? I got it right.
Yes.
I got it right here. Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Gorgeous cover. Absolutely gorgeous cover. And again, it's almost like they're not quite captured in a scene. Yeah, Way of Kings is one of my favorite covers by Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, it's officially, now it's hopeless because now I'm encouraged to continue my collection.
Yeah, it's okay.
because I've been validated.
Yeah,
so this is Way of Kings.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Now, oddly enough, a lot of people, they had a problem with red because that's not Dalinar's cover, Dalinar's color. And it's like, but look, it's awesome. So
yeah,
sometimes you give a little on the content. And you got to accept it because the whole is worth more than any individual parts. Yeah. I'm going to show you another, and I'm just looking at types of covers.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite book titles.
I love that title.
This first off, this is just a tragically beautiful series. If you haven't read this, Dan Wells is probably the most underrated fantasy author I know today.
That's fantasy?
This is, well, it's. I would describe it as horror. It's really, really compelling. It's about a young man who knows he's one bad day away from being a serial killer.
Wow.
So he actually has these rules built into himself because he doesn't want to be. Huh. So he's like, when I think about hurting people, I'm going to say something nice to them, or I do this. So he has all these rules, and he spends the book trying to fight the natural impulses that he knows there. Yeah. And then strange things start happening, and he's forced with the decision to allow horrible things to happen or do some of the things he fantasizes about. It's kind of like a YA version of Dexter meets
Death Note.
Yeah. It's really, and the cover, like this is very indicative. The next one's called Mr. Monster, and the last one is
that's interesting.
what is it? I Don't Want to Kill You.
Whoa.
That's really
Okay.
different.
Just the whole series, every single book just breaks your heart, and it's so super compelling. Now let me show you like one I'm less of a fan of. Favorites. I love
it's
the
the
series.
fonts.
I don't like any of these fonts. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is honestly the best designed cover of the ones that I've shown. Like this is the one I'm like, now this is Michael Whalen. But then I look at this font and I go, why? It's just like, I hate font in general. I think words should just be psychically imprinted on your eyeballs and whatever font makes sense. Hold on,
Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about when he's having his book is the matte versus the gloss edition.
I don't have that one.
I am curious about that. I love how fantasy books, every one of them is like 50,000 pages long.
I'm going to share my screen for a second because I want to show my Kindle.
Okay, yeah.
And why I pick books the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
If I have, you'll notice that some of the books are like utilitarian, or something else is like, to me the book has to tell part of the story.
Yes.
It has to tell. I mean, if you look at any of these books, come here, baby. No, come on. No, I don't want that. Where do you see the sexy bodies? You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, each one of these covers has something relevant to the title. I mean, I like this one, The Everywhere But No Place. I mean,
that's a very clever design. I like some of these way better than others. But I really think that Everywhere is a clever design. I love the Wheel of Time Saga, but I was never a fan of the cover art. It always really what bothered me most was the perspective. The biggest offender in the series is the Eye of the World, the first cover, in which they're all riding horses.
Yeah.
But the artist rendered the horses.
Horses is another one. Yeah.
Proportionally, so the character Maureen Domadred is very small.
Yeah.
So they got her riding a pony.
Oh, jeez.
And so she is sitting on a horse, and her head comes to the saddle of the other horse. It just infuriates me.
Yeah, no, you don't do that. But look at Faceless right here. Look at Faceless, how it captures the face, or the non-faceless.
Now, I like the Fairy Guardian, and I love Falling.
Right.
I love the Faith of Ashes, that one, or Ashish. I can't read that because.
Which one, right?
Of Ashish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
the
one.
Faith of
Yeah, that one is gorgeous.
I like The Fall. I think The Fall is clever.
But what I'm saying is each one of these books tells the story in the story, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fangs, I mean, the only one I'm not really thrilled with in this batch right here is Fangs for Nothing. It's like, okay, whatever. But you look at the other books. You look at the books, like the Elephant Girl. This is perfect. Look at how the ear is right there. It looks like Spock's ear versus a real elephant. But what you have here is you don't have people trying to sell via sex. You have people trying to sell via image, because an image can speak 1,000 words, even by saying nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I could go on, and I won't bore everybody, but what I'm saying is that's why I pick my covers. Is I pick what captures my attention, and then I'll read the blurb.
I could honestly look at book covers all night and all day. I just love them.
So I want to bring up, then Karina wrote gloss check heads and tails, and that's something I do want to discuss. I just uploaded the print version of Zombies from Space today, and now every one of my books is matte finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go over quickly just for those who don't know the difference, because I didn't know until I actually got into, this is Schneider's book. This is her gloss. Let me move my mic here. Gloss, okay, and matte. And I really, when I did my books, I could not commit to the gloss. It just, to me, it's too happy of a color or too happy of a finish. So I went with matte, and I will probably go with a matte finish for almost every one of my darker books.
Zombies should be gloss.
Zombies is gloss.
Okay, it should be.
Zombies is gloss.
It should be.
That was interesting. And I why is it? Why should it be? What is it that makes you decide? And I got to that part of it, and I went, no, it's got to be gloss. And I don't know why.
It's the dynamics. It's gloss leads it to. I mean, I've known about gloss and matte for a while. Gloss leads it to the dynamics. Gloss gives you more of a shine. That's what it is, basically shine versus flat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a 3-dimensional effect that Zombies needs with that spaceship to make it relevant,
Mm-hmm.
and to make it balanced, you do want to go gloss, because if you went matte with it, it would all blend together. But as you said, Duller and Shadow, Fire and Lies might be gloss. The one with the fire on the cover.
Yeah, that one matte because of consistency. I didn't want to break from it's a series.
Because of consistency, right. But if it was its own independent book, because of the flames, it should be gloss.
No, not with the context.
No, okay, that's what it is. It's the context of the book, but it's also the colors of the book that determine what is better gloss and what is it's the colors and the items on the book and the context that make it a better book. Do you believe in Legend should be gloss? I haven't published it as a paperback, but when I publish it, I'm probably going to make a gloss, even though Spirit is matte. I mean, there's already a difference between the two books. I mean, there's already a bad enough difference, so it doesn't matter with my two books right now which one of them is being matte, one of them is being gloss. But you're right, for consistency, all of them should be gloss then.
I had to go with gloss with Cot because it was so dark in tone.
Yeah.
And I was very afraid. I asked a bunch of people, like, do you really like it? Because I love the image, but when you're trying to print an image that is based only in darker colors and darker hues, I needed as much collection of light as I could get, because if you
needed the pop.
Yeah, if you printed that on matte, the blacks would just mush together, and it would really take away from the gradual shading, and the highlight of that image is still pretty dark in tonality, and so I needed something that would reflect as much light as possible, so that people
Spirit should have been gloss too. It shouldn't have been matte, because you've got the horse and then you've got the stars, but nobody can see the stars from the horse because they're both the monochromatic, monochromatic colors.
I think collectively in this panel we have about an hour and a half of sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling it. I did want to say one more thing prior to closing up here. One of the things that I wanted to discuss is, at what point should we, and poor Karina's in Greece, so it's like midnight over there, 4:30 a.m. there.
Well, then you should just be getting started, Karina. We're good. We're fine.
No, she's an insomniac. She doesn't sleep very well, and this is me giving her the angry face, because she's probably been to sleep, or at least tried.
I went out and get coffee.
Yeah.
You've given me the angry face before. It hasn't worked.
Yeah, I have a look. I can get my glasses on and really, really bring it on. That's what my kids get. I was at the store the other day, and they made me angry, so I just took a picture of my glasses at the end of my nose, and then I snapped them. They left me alone after that. What I wanted to ask is, at what point do you order your book cover for your WIP, for your work in progress? And the reason why I asked this is because my experience, I was waiting until, okay, book's almost finished, it's at the editor's, let's do the book cover. And it was actually Fire and Lies that really threw me on my butt with this one. He sent me Fire and Lies, and Karina says, with the editor, my artist sent me Fire and Lies, and he added something to the cover that made me alter my plot. And I went, oh, that could really, I completely rewrote the villain. I mean, I gutted the book. I pulled it back from the editor, completely rewrote it, and it wasn't ready for another 6 months, all because of what my artist did. So with Zombies from Space, I got the idea in my head, and I purchased the cover. So that while I was writing, and sure enough, he sent it back to me, and the image that I got back, the cover artist for Zombies is a different artist. Deranged Doctor designed that one. When I got that cover back, I just went, oh, that's so going in there with the Weeches being beamed down from the ship. I had to put that in there. That thing was not in there prior to the cover. So now I'm a firm believer that, even right now I'm going, okay, I'm getting ready to start Winter and Ash. I need to get the cover ordered. Same thing with Zombies from Space. Fists in the Dark. That's the sequel. That one's going to be, again, I'm going to design the cover while I'm writing the book. So I'm curious what everyone else's feelings is on this, what their experience is with it.
Most people I've read in the indie community, or most of the experts say you should get the cover as soon as you can, so it inspires your writing, and so you can focus on everything. Focus. When you need inspiration for your story, you just look at your cover and go, "Oh yeah, I need to cover this detail, or I need to enhance this." I wish I could afford all the covers for all my books. I really do. I have, 2 or 3 that are active right now. And I'm at least lucky in being a designer and being a web developer that I can keep it up in my head. So I have a general idea. It's like, okay, is this matching this cover? But I really wish I had enough talent, or I had enough time to actually have every cover of every book in my series, or at least the covers that I'm working on, because I know on the days that on the days that my brain goes, I am not writing, do not force me to write, I am drawing my sword, you will not make me write, I can go to the muse and go, aren't you inspired by this?
Yeah.
Now, what about this idea?
Yeah, and same thing with me. I look at the cover. Nothing inspires me to write more than a reader's passion for the story and the book cover. Now, what about the cover reveal? Should it be made into a big deal? Should that be used to market? How do you guys handle the cover reveal?
Go ahead, Reach. I'll defer to you.
Well, I mean, that was a mistake. When it comes to marketing, I don't do anything right. But
me neither.
I think that the cover reveal should be something.
Okay.
It should be.
What
special.
I haven't learned yet is what is the best way to do it and how best to do it. I just ask Angela and Cindy what to do and do what they say.
I pair it up with my pre-order so that when it goes on pre-order, that's when I do the cover reveal. That way people see the cover and they go, ooh, and then they can hit pre-order.
Right.
That's what I started doing. And
it needs to be special. It needs to have a momentous moment behind it, because really we can talk about our work in progresses all the time. We can talk about how many words we're doing. We can talk about how many, things that we, what we're doing.
mm-hmm.
People aren't going to give a damn.
Yeah.
They're not until they have something right in front of their face. They're going to go, oh, so this is what she was talking about.
And Karina says here, yes, small event and huge event for release. Yes, pre-order has to be ready for the cover reveal. And I just want to say on a side note, I like to think that Richard is there writing right now.